Only backing one game on Kickstarter this year, and that game is ROVE by Addax Games, a project that I have been waiting to go live for the better part of a year and a half, if not more. I've been excited as I've watched the development progress, the design changes, and the way that they've diversified what they're doing from the project that they released earlier a couple years back. That project was Gloomhaven, the Crimson Scales, the single most ambitious fan-made expansion I have ever witnessed. They delivered 8,000 total copies of this giant, massive box, along with the expansion Trail of Ashes and weird little component upgrades, things like miniatures and nonsense like that that you just don't see fan-made creations coming with. This is remarkable, and they did all of this completely at cost, because they're part of the community, because they fell in love with Gloomhaven and they joined the designer and the hobbyist space and decided to make something real, make something epic, awesome, and ambitious. ROVE is the very first project coming from Addax Games, but it's not the first thing they've done. It's not their first foray into the designing world. It's not their first journey into producing, distributing, delivering, and making something special. Crimson Scales has been received to rave reviews, and it was on my list of 10 games that I want to dive headfirst into, that I want to obsess over the course of the next year. And I'm starting that. Now, granted, I have Final Girl set up on the table at the moment, because that's what Sheer and I have just finished playing quite a few playthroughs of, and we have other content on the way. But coming to the table probably tonight or tomorrow is going to be Crimson Scales, and it'll live here for a few days while I dive through scenario after scenario. ROVE is coming from that team. Now, one of my good friends, West Todd, who you might know from this channel, does work for Addax Games, and I'm friends with the designer, Matti Eisenbach, as well. I am big fans of both these people, and that certainly contributes to why I want to support and invest in this project. But on top of that, I think the game is incredible. I've been able to play it, and I should have a prototype somewhere towards the middle of the campaign. Right now, it's being claimed and floating around to almost every content creator in our space. But when I get my hands on a prototype, I'm excited to show off how the mechanics work. They're using a new style of card management system where you're flipping cards front and back. They're using a interesting choose-your-own-adventure style story progression in a rich, fantastic, ethereal world. And they're doing things that everyone's been asking for Gloomhaven to do for a long time. Some things that they've agreed to do now with the second printing, like a flipbook, a storybook that gives you access to all of the scenarios and encounters you're playing through. An enemies database where you can kind of see what's going to happen, but you're never quite sure what the effects, abilities are going to be. And then on top of that, the story progression has consequential narrative branching, pathways that open up that, well, let's just say if you ignore one problem, some other things will become more serious as time moves forward. The behind the scenes, the AI driving the game, won't let you forget about the things you passed by. So, I'm friends with the people making this. Absolutely. I want to support them. I think the game is awesome, and everyone that I've seen reviewing it so far, from One Stop Co-op Shop to Board Game Co., have said a similar thing. And on top of that, I think if any publisher, if any designer, if any creator is worth your support, it's the type of people that spent years and hours of their lives, that went through the logistics nightmare of delivering something as ambitious as this, basically an entirely new second copy of Gloomhaven, delivered 8,000 copies of this completely for free. Those are the type of people that I want to see in our industry. I connected with Matti Eisenbach originally through Crimson Scales. I had no idea who he was before, but getting to know him and getting to see the behind the scenes of what goes into the headache that is involved in publishing, I find it remarkable that he not only set off on this adventure, but is committing to it. This is his creation. This is the thing that they have wanted to bring to life. Now, the artwork, you'll notice, is done by the same artist out of the Ukraine who did all of the Gloomhaven's original art. I believe the newer projects, they're not working with him at the moment, but all of this stuff that you see, both in Crimson Scales over here and with ROVE, is all done by the original Gloomhaven artist. They contracted him back with this expansion to make everything as solidified and cohesive as possible. You have 50 unique encounters, 1 to 4 players, set up and play in minutes. So the way they've done this setup and play system is that it has 2 flip books that control the enemies and the scenario you're playing. You have your character boards, which will slot in, and little pouches to keep all the cards, upgrades, and equipments that you've acquired. Setup should literally be a couple of minutes, and then getting up and running with the new scenario should take as much time as flipping a page and placing standees where they go. 60-plus hour campaign with a branching storyline. Now, that branching storyline is important because as you play through and you split off from one side to another side, the replayability is going to be high and significant because the way that the world develops and the consequences for not going down one pathway will have resulting effects on the mid-game and end-game storyline. Along with that, the different characters that you play through will have their own developing. Instead of having characters that retire like you do in Gloomhaven, in Crimson Scales you're going to have characters that evolve in a way, becoming more powerful with their narrative, the way they interact with the world, the cards they have access to, and their powers and abilities, including their artwork and the style that they have, coming from a brand new, unique tuck box. So you won't know what you're going to become until you've started playing through. We have a quote here from Isaac Childress himself from Cephalofair Games, the original designer of Gloomhaven. I want to see more games like ROVE in the world. Deep, tactical, campaign-oriented dungeon crawling where the myriad of player decisions determine success or failure. For me, that's really exciting. It's cool to see that Isaac has taken the time to look at ROVE, lend his support and his advice behind the scenes to it, and is going out of his way to be enthusiastic and encouraging for people who've, well, went out of their way for him. Unique game mechanics, choice and consequence. Like I was saying, you're going to have a sticker map. They have an unlocked goal, a stretch goal that's approaching very quickly that'll allow you to have removable stickers so the replayability will be maintained through the course of the game, just like you have in Gloomhaven. They have a rally and rave system. So the way the card systems is going to work, instead of having a handful of cards where you're playing one card at a time and trying to figure out how to pair things together or top and bottom actions like you have in Gloomhaven, the inspiration here is going to be rally and rave, flip card actions that set up on your table, and as you play them, they pass from one side to another. So you're trying to get the right slot machine sequence set up so that you can hit the dial or hit the button and suddenly you have this perfect sequence of attacks. For the most part, the rally cards or the rally side of the cards will be giving you powers and abilities, leveling up, giving you resource, allowing you to do big actions, and the rave side of the card will allow you to do these big, epic, sweeping attacks. So on your turn, you're going to be making a balance of how far you pull back, when you bide your time, and when you go helter-skelter, everything to the wall and try to take down your opponents. They're also going to have some basic actions, so not everything you're going to be doing is going to be driven solely by the cards that you have. So each character will have their own unique set of basic actions or their own standard set of basic actions, move, attack, stuff like that. On top of that, you'll have unique items that can be equipped, I believe, to almost any character, depending on what weapon type they're able to wield. And those items will heavily impact or heavily influence the type and effectiveness of the actions that you're using. Setup simplified, like I said, they have a beautiful flipbook here. Evolving classes. So your classes are going to have their core abilities here, their deck of cards, their character profile with certain special powers, abilities, the type of environment that they like to work in, the type of magic or spell or attack that they're going to be doing and performing. And these will evolve as you play through the course of the game. We have a quote from Board Game Co. A puzzle of card manipulation in an epic dungeon crawler campaign. I've enjoyed the game so far and can't wait to see the progression and character depth. Again, beautiful artwork coming from the original artist from Gloomhaven. We have a few different pledge levels. The one I want to highlight is we have a Rover pledge level, $99. You're saving $61 off the core MSRP price tag of this game. This game is big. It's massive. Why are they doing it for $99? Well, because One, they're ridiculous. Two, they're trying to kind of follow in the model that Gloomhaven set, right? Be aggressive with the price. Get a game into as many people's hands as possible and win on the back end. Deliver something amazing. Deliver a storyline, a set of game mechanics, and an adventure that's worth playing time and time again. And then, once you have enough people playing your game, well, everyone's going to return, and some people are going to do crazy things like Crimson Scales. The back that I've done, the pledge level that I've done, is the all-in Paragon of Chorus. This saves you $145, 37% off the MSRP. Comes with the miniatures, with the dice, with the upgraded bag, with the art book, with ROVE, with the minis expansion, and with the Foreteller app, the audio narration that'll give you the full environmental soundscape for this game. Going to add a few different additional things depending on what pledge level you're going. So if you do the base pledge but you want the minis for just $40 more, you can add in the minis pledge to this, which will give you characters for all of your core starting classes and all of the unique level ups or progressions that you'll get throughout the course of the game. I believe there's 15 total characters because there's 5 core starting classes and each one has 2 levels of epic progression. On top of that, we have the components, we have a beautiful map book, we have the adversary book. This is talking about every scenario that you're fighting. All these unique creatures that you're going head-to-head against are going to be built out of a book. So instead of setting up a sequence of cards or cycling what they're going to be doing, you're going to be flipping to the correct page, and that's going to be how you're going to be fighting them and how you're going to be engaging with them. We have a set of skill cards, which are going to be flipping front to back with the rally and rave mechanic. Classic tuck boxes. These are going to be the core characters that you're starting with and the progressions that you have. I like the progression more than retiring your characters because I like seeing how my narrative continues as I continue to get stronger, level up, and move forward in the campaign. Core game is going to be coming with punch-out board standee tokens, similar to what you'd have in Gloomhaven with the artwork and everything like that. And the minis expansion will give you that full supplement if you're looking for the mini standee collaboration. You have player boards, you have dice, you have everything just listed out here. Let's keep going. What else do we have? Chris George from Room and Board. ROVE has a really nice balance of existing decisions while not overstaying its welcome. Quick setup and type scenarios make this a campaign that's easy to get on the table and actually finish. So the different core characters that we have True Scale, a deadly combination in any trade or tussle. We have Shadow Piercer, 3 eyes, always on the prize. We have Flash, bend the elements to your will. And then finally, we have a Sophist, immense knowledge concentrated in a small stature. Now, if you notice, the artwork does look familiar, but this is set in a more rich, ethereal environment, a alien life, system. So instead of set in kind of the classic world of RPG or D&D, this is going to be a little bit closer to the primal sci-fi-esque with some of the magic and abilities, but not really sci-fi tech, more the ethereal exploration of a world that's unknown, Oathsworn-esque in some ways. And then finally we have the Dune Dancer, never leave home without a friend, going to be calling in summons and all these new characters and abilities. Paul Grogan from Gaming Rules. The tactical nature of the combat system allows for each character to plan and then execute some very cool moves, which, when it comes together, can be very rewarding. We have the stretch goals. So, they've already funded. They're already doing extremely well. I think we're 2 hours in at the time of recording this. I backed immediately, and then I've been hanging out in the comments waiting to film this video. So, their initial goal was 40K. I believe they're already up to about 90, maybe 100 by the time you're watching this, which means we'll be unlocking the round tracker. The upgraded map stickers, the removable sticker set, is going to be at 150. And new quest, campaign tracker. Okay, I can see a little bit of what's coming down the line, and I'm very excited to see what else is here. If you want to try it on Tabletop Simulator, they're doing taught classes. So if you click on this link, it'll lead you to Discord. You'll join the community, and they're doing coached classes. They're still working on refining the rulebook, so it's not just available widely to everyone. But if you hop in, you can schedule a time to hop on and play with one of the team members there at ROVE. You can download the prototype rulebook. Like I said, they're still refining some of the words and some of the teaching elements in that game, which takes a lot of time and usually doesn't finish till the end of the project. And so you can take a look at it, though, if you'd like. Michael Kelly from One Stop Co-op Shop. I really enjoy the Ether management and the varied action choices every turn. The tactical play is great. We have a few videos from reviewers. Like I said, I should be getting a prototype sometime soon. Foreteller is locked and loaded. Ezkrat, Chorus is a lush, vibrant world. I can't wait to spend hours exploring. And then about us, Matti Eisenbach, the CEO. Fusing together his love of playing board games and passion for sharing his creations with the world, Matti took the industry by storm by creating the largest non-commercial fan-made expansion ever made, the Crimson Scales. Following with a successful expansion, Trail of Ashes, over 8,000 games delivered, and an overwhelmingly positive community response, Matti assembled a team of equally passionate board gamers to join him on his journey to bring his passion to life with ROVE. We have the whole crew here, everyone that's involved in this, and then the shipping overview. They're also doing something kind of wild, which I'll just talk about here because I can't pull it up immediately, but I think it's in the FAQ if you're looking for it. They're offering for anyone, let's see here. Where is it? Either way, they're offering for anyone who backs this and decides it's not the right game for them within 14 days of receiving their pledge to package it up, ship it back, and get a full refund. So they're guaranteeing that they're going to deliver, they're going to do right by you, and they're going to deliver something that is worth playing and worth enjoying. It's a weird and kind of remarkable offer coming from people who are truly fans of our industry and of what our industry does and does right. So that's my breakdown. That's my quick overview. This is the only game I'm backing this year. Yeah, we'll be talking about other games. We'll be covering other games. I will certainly be pining for some publishers to send us some copies of other games because there's a lot that I want to play and explore. But when it comes to actually supporting and putting investment in something, ROVE is the game that we're getting behind. We're tight on finances right now, and we're going to be tighter as this year goes on. So I don't have a lot of spare cash to throw around. But for someone that's been this impactful in our community, for a team of people that really are the heart and soul of what Kickstarter and crowdfunding is designed to be, I feel like I should and have to, in many ways, do my part. I'm not, other than being friends with these two, financially involved or motivated in any way. Not for Crimson Scales, not for ROVE. I just want to see them do well. I want to see them succeed, and I want to see them prove that being optimistic and being ambitious and pursuing a dream is worthwhile. And I want you all to play their game because it's cool and it's unique and it's fun. And I can't wait to play it myself. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Go all in. I mean, buy like at least 5 core pledges. They'll probably be worth money post Kickstarter as it is. So if you flip them on eBay immediately, you'll at least make your money back, if not a substantial profit. We'll see you later.